All right, this morning, September 19th, I want to go over this trade that I took on Nasdaq for you guys. I want to start out with the schematic here. So this is exactly the setup that I took. So normally I show you guys setups that I take either a buy or a sell regarding the London range, but today it was a little different. Today was a sell from previous day's high. All right, so in this schematic, normally I may have a news event that can push price all the way up to previous day's high, and then I would look for some type of divergence between the S&P and Nasdaq, and if that divergence is there, then I can frame a short trade, especially if I get that market structure shift within my entry window. So this morning though, Friday, we didn't have any news. Okay, all because there's no news doesn't mean that there isn't a setup. All right, and today was one of those days. There was no news on the calendar, but we did get some divergence at previous day's high, and then we got that market structure shift. So I want to show you that right here. All right, so just take a mental note of this, and we're gonna hop over to the chart. So here on the chart, it was at 950. So as you guys can see, just zooming in here a little bit, my London session high was taken out shortly after 6:30 on both markets. Okay, so on the right on Nasdaq, we kind of took it out during the 6:30 candle, and over here on the left, we took it out at the 7 o'clock candle. All right, obviously that's just too early for me to trade. My entry window is between 9:30 and 10:45. So going forward in time here, shortly after market open, as you can see, during the 9:45 candle on the 15-minute chart here, we took out previous day's high on Nasdaq. And if you look over here on the left, for that same level, we're pretty far away from it. So for me, this was the divergence that I look for at this level. And from there, I would go down to the lower time frame to look for my entry and then short this market over here on the right. Okay, so after price took out that level on Nasdaq, I dropped down to the 5-minute. And here on the 5-minute chart, what I'm looking for is a bearish engulfing. So as you can see, I didn't get it here. I would be normally looking for it to close below this up close candle here, but we didn't get that here. So let me just go forward in time. Again, we get a new up close candle, so I would just move this little area here, denoting what I need to see price close below. And on the next candle, you can see again, we did not close, right? I want to see a candle body close below that up close candle's lowest point. That does not happen here, so I go forward in time again. And here we get a new up close candle. You can see how price is kind of just chopping around, up, down, up, down, up. So I'm just moving price along, waiting for that bearish engulfing. And right here is when I get that. So I get that here, 10:15 a.m. and I'm on the 5-minute, all right? But here's the thing. I needed to wait for this candle to close before I could drop down to the 1-minute. So when I go down to the 1-minute for you guys, it's gonna look like the candle did not close in this area, but that's because you're looking at the 1-minute candles. My entry was actually after 10:20 because this candle here, this down close candle, opened at 10:15. All right, so it opened at 10:15, which means I needed to wait 5 minutes before I could actually take an entry. Okay, so dropping down to the 1-minute. Here on the 1-minute, my area of interest was this buy side imbalance right here from 9:50 a.m. All right, this right here. I wanted to use this as an inversion fair value gap to take a trade from, so I'll show you that. I placed my sell limit right on that level, and my stop loss went right above the previous swing high, which was right here, this red line right here. So I did not go above the high from 10:07. I went above the high from 10:11 a.m. right there. Okay, from there I targeted 3R. All right, but before we get to the recording, I want to show you this right here. Take a look at these down close candles right in here. If you look at the timing of this candle right here, it's 10:15, meaning this is when this candle opened. All right, this is when the 5-minute candle opened. But if you look at the close of this candle on the 1-minute chart, it's inside this box right here. This is the 5-minute bearish engulfing box. Okay, it's denoting the last up close candle on the 5-minute chart. I need a bearish 5-minute candle to close below this area. Okay, so as you can see, you have 10:15 open, 10:16, 10:17, 10:18, 10.19. On the very next candle, we got our 5-minute candle to close below this level. So that's when I was allowed to place my sell limit, all right? Because in order for me to take a trade, I have to have my engulfing pattern confirmed on the 5-minute chart first. Now that I got that, this is where I placed my sell limit right on that inversion fair value gap from the left here. And I'll show you one more thing that I was looking at on the downside. If you take a look at the chart on the left, I noticed that we had equal lows over here on S&P, and these lows were made at 6 a.m. So we had some equal lows, but right underneath those equal lows, we also had a 15-minute buy-side imbalance that had not been touched yet. So I'll show you that really quick. So this is what it looks like on the 15-minute. Now on the chart on the right, we had something a little different. We didn't have equal lows. Instead, we had a 15-minute fair value swing low. So if you don't know what that is, take a look at this. You see this buy-side imbalance right here? It's really small. It's 15-minute fair value gap. What I'm looking at is the lowest test inside of that gap. Okay, so the lowest swing low, which is at 6:45 a.m. I draw that out in time. And for me, this is a 15-minute fair value swing low. Just as the name sounds, it is the swing low inside of a 15-minute buy-side imbalance. So what I'm anticipating price to do is to drop down into this buy-side imbalance over here and take out these liquidity pools, the equal lows and the fair value gap on S&P. And on the right, I'm expecting price to seek liquidity below this 15-minute fair value swing low. That was my trade idea for this morning. And dropping right back down to the 1 minute, I'll show you the entry. Just gonna hit play here. Okay, here was my entry. And I'm gonna show you this one piece of price action that almost stopped me out. Check this out. I'm just gonna hit the next candles here. This right here. At 10:26, I almost got stopped out. Let me just go to the very next candle. Yeah, take a look at this. It was 10:27. My stop loss is above the previous swing high. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this could have stopped me out, but it kept me in the trade, all right? From there, price began to melt. But instead of showing you candle by candle in replay, I'll show you the recording from this morning.